Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
We got no audio on this side of the house.
Well, I guess you've got much to say.
The next date is June 25th, 2014. It is 6:31 p.m. Okay, roll call.
Councilman Murphy?
Here.
Councilwoman Burnham?
Here.
Councilwoman Horgan?
Here.
Councilwoman Lewis?
Here.
Councilman Zipridge?
Here.
Councilman DuPont?
Here.
Okay, we're all in the house. Sunshine Statement.
Let the minutes reflect that in compliance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act, the notice of this meeting has been provided by notifying the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger by placing a notice on the bulletin board and filing the same with the Borough Clerk on January 1, 2014.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to suspend the order of regular business, Mayor.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Social Media Day. Social Media Month. We are happy that we are the hub of some great creative individuals who have decided to make Red Bank their home, and they've actually made us a little bit more receptive to social media. So, number one, thank you for making Red Bank your home. Number two, thank you for bringing extraordinarily creative, bright young men and women into our midst who eat at our lunch establishments and have drinks afterwards. So thank you for that. And they're all wonderful people. So on behalf of the Borough Council, we have issued a proclamation, and it reads as follows. Whereas social media has changed the way we communicate with our friends and family on a daily basis, and has reduced four-letter words. And whereas social media has become a growing interactive technology that connects and supports our residents in their interests, passions, and beliefs, and whereas in the diverse world of today, it is not always easy to stay in touch with friends and family, and innovative social media initiatives have allowed people to stay more connected than ever before. And whereas social media has empowered consumers to locate, engage, and support local businesses by coupling technology and community, and whereas social media has allowed people to connect one-on-one with brands, organizations, and charities worldwide. And whereas Social Media Day has become a full-fledged global movement since its launch in 2010, and June 30th, 2014 will celebrate around the world as Social Media Day. Now, therefore, I, Pasquale Mena, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, do hereby proclaim June 30th to be Social Media Day in Red Bank, and urge all citizens to join me in celebrating social media of all types that enhance not only social connections, but also provide tools for delivering information and business marketing. And you can all tweet me if you want. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But why don't you favor us with a few words about what you've been able to do in Red Bank, because I think it's really a great story. Share your with us.
Sure. My name is Derek Riddle, and I work for a company called Time Logic, and we do web-based internet consulting for small and large businesses. But for Social Media Day, we wanted to really step it up this year, and we're doing a community-based event for Social Media Day, which is Monday, the 30th. Which was declared a day by an e-zine called Matchable, and it's pretty popular. So it's nationwide, actually international, and we wanted to have Red Bank as a declared town in Social Media Day and celebrating that. So we're doing a photo crawl for Friday through Monday to celebrate that, where people can go around to various businesses in town, take pictures, and then share them on the internet through Instagram and Twitter, and that helps local business get people out there involved. Use social media to expand business and promote business within Red Bank. So we're happy to do that. We're really excited and thankful that Red Bank is coming out to proclaim Social Media Day for Red Bank itself. So
You tell us how to be more hip, and we'll do that also. So thank you once again. And I have to tell you that I just came back from being in London for a couple of days, and we think we're advanced here in terms of interactive communications. We're in the dark ages, pal.
Right.
So you have to bring us out of the dark ages. I mean, one example is that we're all used to the iconic red phone boxes. Well, nobody uses the red phone boxes anymore. Yet if you go in central London and the outskirts, there's hundreds and hundreds of red phone boxes still there. They are hotspots for interactive telephone internet connections, and there's actually screens in each one of them where you can just swipe a card and you're immediately connected. You're on the subway and the London Underground. You can, even if you don't have a computer, you're immediately computed with a swipe card to a screen, no matter where you go. So I think we have a lot of catching up to do here in the United States, but your companies like yours are going to lead us in that direction.
Definitely, we hope
So
to do so.
I'll see you on Monday, though,
Yes,
right?
sounds
Okay,
good.
see
Thank you so
again.
much.
Good.
Thank you, everybody.
Also, for the record, Mr. Riddle is too humble to say anything, but he just finished an Ironman marathon 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks
So,
ago.
again, good leader and an example for the mayor's wellness campaign there.
I'm working on it. It doesn't look it, but I'm working on it. Every single night since I've been back, I've had nothing but watermelon salad.
Thanks, Mr. Riddle. Have a great night.
Thank you very much. Really
Thank
appreciate it.
No worries.
I can't win. I gave up red meat, now you're complaining about sugar in my watermelon. Okay, all right. I gotta figure something else out. Okay, David Kaplan is here with respect to summarization of the 2014 audit presentation and comments, which we've all received the audit. We're all going to sign it. We have reviewed it, received it. And David, just go through just a brief highlight, if you would, please.
Sure, Mayor. Good evening. Completed the audit for the year ended 2013, distributed, timely filed within the statute of the state of New Jersey. This year, over $60 million Redneck enjoyed in revenues. It's a major undertaking every year, and it seems like the revenues continue to grow, and so do the expenditures. But it takes a tremendous amount of work on the part of the governing body in the leadership role, the administration, finance office. It just takes a lot of teamwork, and I'm happy to report that things are going well. Unmodified opinion is the type of opinion we issued on the financial statements. That's the highest form of assurance that an independent auditor can give, that the financial statements are presented in conformity with the regulatory basis of accounting that's prescribed by the Department of Community Affairs. A couple key highlights. Ended the year with approximately $15 million in cash. Bonded debt of about $19.6 million, which is down $3 million from the prior year. A very healthy current fund balance, $1.46 million, up from $837 in the prior year. $800,000 in fund balance in sewer, $203 in apartment utility. Both of those last two are relatively unchanged. So, unmodified opinion, in good shape financially. It was a difficult year for the borough with losing a really well-qualified, experienced CFO, but you gain a very experienced, qualified CFO. It's just a transition that takes time, and I'm sure you're going to adapt fine with the leadership that you all give. I think you're on the right track, and things will keep on moving.
Thank you. And by the way, the audit comments are always a good thing for a municipality to receive, since it shows that there's a constant cycle of review and improving on our operations. When we first started, we had audit comments which were 60 or 70 items, and so thank God we've made tremendous progress, but we can always do better.
Mary,
Any questions?
Yeah, you know, I just want to point out that, you know, this audit report certainly reflects the strength and the vibrancy of Red Bank's budget, but it also indicates the fiscal steps that we have taken, A, to reduce our debt, to make sure that we control our long-term debt and any obligations in the future, such as setting aside reserves for vacation days or anything contractually that we're obligated to. But and the other thing is that we set forth fiscal control policies, such as our case management, cash management plan that we just adopted that policy. And so I just really wanted to thank Mr. Kaplan. He's done a wonderful job in steering Red Bank through the last 3 years of a recession and making sure that we balanced our accounts. But I think that as a result of the leadership that Mr. Kaplan has provided, our current fund is great, our water fund is great, our we've got water, sewer, and parking are all good here. But more importantly, our surplus has doubled from last year, and that means that through the efficiencies of our operations, we've saved money. And I think that's very, very important to note in this audit. So on behalf of the Finance Committee, I want to thank you, Mr. Kaplan. I also wanted to thank our new CFO. She came in hitting the ground, and she's done a wonderful job implementing new policies, new security measures, as well as fiscal vision for us. So everyone could lose, and also I wanted to thank Art Murphy and Ed Zipprich for their time and effort on the Finance Committee. It was a long, arduous time, and I just wanted to thank both of them as well as the other team members on the team.
Any questions, Mr. Kaplan?
No, I just also wanted to thank Dave for his ongoing service to the borough, and I also wanted to thank Lloyd DuPont for his leadership, and Eugenia for her tireless effort since she walked through the door in the beginning of January. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay. Having said that, is there a motion on resolution 14-163, Michael?
I'll make that motion to
Second?
Second, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, David. Have a nice evening, and talk to you soon. Thank you for all your help, by the way.
Thank you for coming in.
Motion to resume regular order of business.
So moved, Mayor.
Second. All in favor? Workshop. Anything for workshop?
Mr. Mayor, on the weekend, I was informed, or I was contacted by some residents regarding, there was an accident and the ambulance was called, and the response time, they actually ended up taking the injured people to the hospital because the ambulance, the time it took for the ambulance to arrive. So I just would like to find out if we could get more information regarding the response rate of our ambulance services.
Good question. We'll get right on it, and we'll look up the incident report. Because we have that's logged. We'll get that. We'll get
Get
that.
the information. It may have been on another call, so we'll find out what the incident report says.
Okay. Anything else for workshop? Not approval of minutes, May 14, 2014. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mayoral appointments, one this evening. The Reverend Father Alberto Tamayo, the pastor of St. Anthony's to the Library Board of Trustees for an expired 5-year term to 12/31/2015, brings a substantial amount of diversity to the Library Board, represents a Hispanic presence, which we've never had before, and follows the tradition of other clergy persons who served, such as Reverend Scott, as well as Reverend Millard Harris, going way back from Pilgrim Baptist Church, and then Father Terrence Rochevelle from St. Thomas. Motion to affirm.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports of Mayor and Council Committee members. I know that our wonderful librarian is here, and I want to thank you so much for your invitation to be with you today. And I also want to thank you for choosing an extraordinary person for your volunteer of the year, Beth Hamady, the former Friends of the Library. So well done. Sorry I had to scoot out early on my other duties, but thank you. Michael.
I have no report, Mayor.
Ed.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to thank Elizabeth for the invitation to the library luncheon today. It was a really lovely event. The Friends really did put out a nice spread, so thanks. DPW committee met last week and discussed the ongoing efforts pertaining to the road program that will be underway this summer, along with engineering issues under construction. The work at Riverside Gardens Park is complete with a small punch list to be reviewed with the engineer. DPW is addressing a few housekeeping items in the park, and Councilwoman Lewis and I walked the park, both riverfront parks, on Monday night to review and address a couple of issues of concern. DPW has been briefed on those, and they will take action. Our lawn care maintenance company, Greenleaf, will be mowing the Marion Street lot at no cost to the borough taxpayers. I know Cindy had some concerns, and in the past, the community garden had been maintained by the volunteers at the community garden, but the contractor has agreed to mow the area surrounding the garden without charge to the borough taxpayers. And I also wanted to acknowledge the work that Maria Rotolo at DPW did for another successful application for the Clean Communities Grant. The Borough of Red Bank has received funding from New Jersey's DEP in the amount of $18,939.80 to help offset solid waste and recycling costs to the borough. Historic Preservation is supposed to meet tonight. They're working on a historic signage plan in conjunction with our engineer for Marine Park. And the Shade Tree Committee, Chairman Sullivan is requesting that the borough engineer and the administration make every effort to preserve the tree that's in front of 106 Monmouth Street when the demolition occurs. They've also posted a beetle advisory on the borough website about the invading Asian ambrosia beetles. So if anybody wants to take a look at that, if you have some trees that are dying, you might find out that that's what the problem is. And lastly, if anybody has socks to drop off for lunch break, Students for Success program, you can drop them off at lunch break or contact me, and I'll make the arrangements for pickup. But so far I've raised awareness around the community, and have a meeting tomorrow with a sock manufacturer who's working on possibly donating as many as 1,000 pairs of socks to Students for Success.
What size?
So wish me luck.
What size socks?
All sizes.
Okay.
One size fits
Well,
all.
there you go.
Mr. Zippers, I have one question. Are they going to mow the outside and inside the fence?
They moved to the inside fence. I believe Gary briefed you on that yesterday.
Well, he did, but we were going to discuss that. I think what we're going to have to do is mulch inside because, nobody's going to bring out a lawnmower there. So can we get
It's your program.
borough mulch down there?
We'll discuss that with Gary.
Would you do that? Because we could just get a couple of loads of mulch down there. Okay, we could get it in the garden, then with the grass that's inside the fence, we'll just mulch it all, and then we won't have to worry about the grass growing on the inside.
Well, I think that's a DPW committee, so let's talk about it in the committee and come up with a resolution.
Right, well, that's fine.
Okay, good. Juanita?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Parks and Rec met on the 18th of June, where we continue to discuss the Bellhaven concept with the Environmental Commission and the upcoming renovations at Marine Park. We will continue to work on that. Right now, there's a meeting that's being scheduled to discuss a proposal for Marine Park tennis courts, and what I'd like to say is that I'm really interested in opportunities that are going to optimize that borough asset for the entire population of Red Bank. So we will continue to discuss and entertain proposals for that space. I want to congratulate the 12U boys baseball team for their championship win. And also, we had some soccer teams, 3 soccer teams that won championships. I also want to remind parents that it is time to register our younger residents for summer camp, and also that Movies in the Park and Jazz in the Park are going to be taking place. July 1st is the kickoff, so we want to make sure that everybody comes out, and especially for Movies in the Park, we have some really good, cool stuff for our younger residents. And yes, Frozen and Legos. So I mean, what more could you ask for? And on that note, that's it for me.
Thank you, Juanita. Kathy?
I have a lot of good things to report about the library. And I'm happy that we do have a new member to the board, and I want to thank the mayor for his help in securing that individual. The library board met on June 19th. Dave Kaplan, the borough auditor, reviewed the library audit. It got a clean audit. The library is debt-free. There is a decrease in, as we all know, in its cash assets in 2013, but that will be turned around. The board also reviewed and approved the 2014 budget. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Stanley Sickles, Eugenia Poulos, and Gary Watson for all of their help in various ways at the library, especially with regard to maintenance and repair, and for working on the the budget in conjunction with the library board and the staff. In fundraising efforts, the Million Penny Campaign will resume in partnership with the town schools. The Friends are also partnering with River Center, thank you, Jim, to have a table at the Farmers Market 2 times in July. The Friends will also have a table at the Red Bank Sidewalk Sale, where they'll be selling some books in preparation for the big book sale. The preview party will be on September 12th, and the book sale will take place on September 13th and 14th. The library still needs some volunteers for this weekend's Rock and Country Festival, so if anybody is available and would like to volunteer, please contact the library, see Elizabeth about that. Do we? Okay. That's good. Do we have the quota? That's wonderful, great. I guess at our meeting the last time, but we did not last week, so, okay, that's good news. The foundation is also working on its first annual appeal letter. Anthony Trufolos donated photos of past Red Bank High School proms. I believe Elizabeth has done a display here at Borough Hall, and Stanley Sickles was also presented with a photo of his uncle in a football uniform. Is that correct, Stanley?
Yes.
Steve McMillan of Red Bank Frameworks cleaned and restored the prints of photos as a donation to the library, which was very, very generous of him. And Elizabeth, who has been doing the work of acting director since April 15th, will be given compensation for her work acting as director until we find a new one. So thank you for all that you've done. The board will also be hiring seasonal staff so that they can stay open on Wednesday evening and Saturday hours. And that is it for now, and the next board meeting is July 17th.
Kathy, just 2 things, if I may. First of all, I want to thank you, and I already said thank you to Elizabeth earlier, but I certainly want to thank you and the rest of the council for having the confidence in us doing the decisions that we took regarding the library. Your report clearly shows that the decisions which we took were necessary and proper at the time, were well-reasoned, but more importantly, they're all positive. Your report is positive. It shows that despite the chatter, we're moving ahead, we're moving forward, and we don't have to listen to blog sites telling us what to do. We listen to the people who use our facilities, who run our facilities, that do it. Second thing is another positive story. I said January 1st, before we knew that there was a problem with the library, but I said on January 1st that we were going to do something in terms of the council's fundraising, and one of the things that I had committed to do is to recreate something that hasn't happened in a long time, which, although we don't know what to call it yet, it's going to be either a mayor's formal reception or some sort of party or mayor's ball, but that will be happening, and I'm pleased to report that Barbara Boas as well as Debbie Marks met with me last night to plan some tentative dates for a non-political community-wide event where we will be celebrating our achievements as a community, and the bulk of the proceeds will be allocated to 2 of our institutions, one of which will be the library. So we committed to helping them, and we're still on board, and this council is on board. I just want you to, but I want to thank you for your confidence in all of us.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that it's amazing how in such a short time the ambiance, the morale at the library has changed with this board and with the staff. I think the staff feels so much more involved. They are involved. And it's a pleasure to go to the meetings of the library board. And so I want to thank Elizabeth for her contribution as well. She's been working extremely hard. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you, Kathy. Cindy?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. I would get closer to the mic.
It's not working.
Thanks, everyone.
It's not working. So, okay. Can you hear me back there?
Kathy, if you could leave it on.
Okay. On June 17th, I met with Senator Beck along with the DOT, Gary Watson, and Bobby Holliday to address the crosswalks, specifically over by the atrium, the Navasink House, how to make them safer, because they are planning to repave Highway 35 probably in about a year and a half. And those are major problem crosswalks. So we looked at them, we walked them, we got input, and Christine was there, right? Christine, maybe you would like to expound on what we did?
Well, why don't you do your report first, otherwise we're going to be all over the place. Just finish your report. and
Okay.
If she wants to add, she can add.
All right, how to make them safer, and maybe changing a few things, the timing on the lights, make them a little longer so people have, our seniors have a little bit more time to cross the street. I would just like to say that our crosswalks down on Broad Street, I was saying to the chief and to Gary Watson, are kind of very faded, and here we are maintaining ourselves as a, pedestrian friendly, and people are getting hit, and cars aren't stopping at the crosswalks, and I think it's because the crosswalks are almost non-existent. So the chief had said to me, when we were talking about the Broad Street crosswalks, he said that the county handles the crosswalks on Broad and Leroy and Broad and Pinckney. And he said he's been reaching out to the freeholders.
It's already on board. They've got to work on their schedules being done.
Yes, it should be done by the end of the week. I
That's correct.
contacted John Curley got on them, and he said it should be done by the end of the week. So that was a good thing. But I just want to say that maybe next year we could plan as like the first item of the spring to get the crosswalks done and clean the parking lots for the River Fest. Because I think we want to show, I think we all agree, we want to show our best face for these big events when thousands and thousands of people are coming in. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark.
No report, Mayor, but I just want to, for the record, they're going to be done next week, they said, the crosswalks are going to be done next week?
Yeah.
And that's the end of this week, they're going to be done?
Well, just in case it's inclement weather, they said it'll definitely be done by next
Oh,
week.
this is due to what, Pinckney, right? Is that what you're saying?
Take me in, Leroy.
Thank you. No,
Thank you. Okay, just one quick thing. As some of you have read in some of the local press, through the generosity of Dr. Al and Sandy Gordon, Red Bank will be receiving some extraordinary modern public art, which are statuary. We will be taking possession of those rather quickly. There's no action needed by the council at this time. However, I think that although I was very happy to accept the grant and the gift and begging for more from other people, I don't think that I am necessarily competent to make decisions in terms of possible sites and locations, although I may have some preferences. So I would like to appoint a very unofficial group of individuals whom I think are talented and have an eye to this thing much better than I do, to at least give us some suggestions and alternatives since we do have some time. And I would like to, because some of them may involve our public parks, I would like to ask, and I haven't even mentioned it to you yet, whether or not Councilwoman Lewis would agree to serve on that to advise us, since they do involve the parks. But I would also like to ask an architect who may have a view and vision, namely one of our residents, Ned Gaunt, to assist, and also would be representing River Center, since he's also on the board, may involve some River Center access points, so he can bring that to it. Susan Berkey is one of the extraordinary talented artists in our community, and she's got a good eye for this, and I'm sure she would like to serve, and I think she indicated she would. And I've asked Dr. and Mrs. Gordon, or either one of them, to serve, since they are the donors, even though they really don't, have said they don't have to. They don't care where we put it, as long as we put it someplace. And also Joan Recknitz, who's got a terrific background in this sort of thing. And so with your consent, that I think that that's a good group that could give us some input. Of course, the council will make the final decision.
Mayor, I think that's a wonderful idea. I like all of the proposed members, and I think that'd be a great idea, Mayor.
Mayor, do we know how many pieces they're donating?
Yes. Initially, there are going to be 2 pieces. They are bronze and steel, and they are about 9 feet high, modern art, depicting a woman and her female child that is an allegory of Mother Earth. And it's a challenging allegory, but the artist's intention is a very well-known modern sculptor who's done some work that is presently in New York City, as well as Washington and Copenhagen, and also Montreal. That challenges the viewers to see life not in its pure visionary sense, but in its realistic sense, so that you can respond to it accordingly.
Mayor, you could obviously see why you are the one that wrote the letter to Harvard. And also, obviously, you visited Cambridge when you were in London, so you became very well versed with
Thank you.
the source.
So I think it's a good movement on our part, because I really think that this is going to invite others to participate, and we're serious about it.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay, thanks.
Mayor, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
I have heard, and I'm just going to bring it up here, that these statues are harmless.
No, the statues
Have arms.
aren't arms. They are allegorical statues. Well, they represent a vision. You could draw different
Okay.
interpretations of the vision.
But the arms are there.
Yes. But even if the arms weren't there, I wouldn't want to be an
Someone
architect.
told me that they were disturbing, that's all I'm saying.
Is it abstract?
Yes.
It's abstract, that's bad.
Mayor, I'll make that motion.
It's not realistic, it's abstract.
That's right.
It's not representation.
It's not a direct representation.
Okay.
You can draw different.
It's abstract.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor? Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I should have interjected. I just wanted to, in following up on Councilwoman Burnham's report with regard to Maple Avenue, I just take one step further. In response to your emails and prior emails to Senator Beck, where we're concerned about taking immediate action, I think this past meeting was regarding the proposed reconstruction of Maple Avenue and Route 35. However, we urged them to take immediate steps to remove the red brick crosswalks that were causing the trip hazards. That work has begun. They've done, I believe, 2 out of the 4, and are proceeding weather permitting. So that's underway. And with regard to the crosswalks in Red Bank, we had originally budgeted to and planned to do those crosswalks every August prior to the school year. However, in consultation with the police committee and the Public Works Committee, we're looking to do that. We were doing that every 2 years. We're looking to do that annually now, and we will look at them both prior to the school year to see if anything needs to be touched up, and also in the spring when there's more use and more pedestrian traffic. And in addition, Mr. Mossman is in the process, or was in the process of getting the quotes to do the work this August. We're going to accelerate that. But also, we've been in touch with the county and looking to also solicit proposal for shared services with the county and their highway department that does a lot of striping for some of the communities as per your suggestion. So I just wanted to bring the rest of the council up to date on that.
Thank you, Stan.
One more thing, Mr. Sickles, too, I don't know if this was brought up, but we did think that, Mr. Carafalo was going to do the crosswalks, is what I understand.
We're getting quotes from
Oh, okay.
That's my point. My point is, we shouldn't accept a quote when we have to look out and get different quotes. But the most important quote I'm interested in is, the county does these things as part of a shared service, and they can't charge a profit. So I want to see what that quote is from the county is.
Well, what I was going to say was the crosswalks in town, Monmouth, Linden, Wallace, Broad, what have you, we're going to put glass in to make it a little sparkly so that it'll shine more in the day, and perhaps that will help.
That's
help
called
drivers.
thermoplastic.
Okay.
One of the problems with that, we have to be a little careful of that. We ought to ask Chrissy about that, because there's some of those surfaces cause slipperiness.
Yep.
And have been the subject of lawsuits. I just think you might want to get the input from, it might look nice, but there have been a number of lawsuits because of the
I
slip.
would call the GIF Mel because they have an opinion on that.
Yeah,
It's
they're,
the last one, I don't think it's slippery, I think it's the other one you're talking about, because the thermal.
well, I would just get our input from our GIF as well as our engineer on that, because I do know that is,
Just to be on the safe side.
our cost.
But I think anything we can do to make drivers more aware of where our crosswalks are, so that they will see them and stop.
Well, you know what you can do is you can ask our state to put blinking lights on the crosswalk as they have down in Toms River in front of the courthouse. What it essentially is, there are lights that go across the road and they blink constantly to alert the fact that this is a crosswalk, so that when you see them blinking, and then you automatically, oh, there's a pedestrian. So my suggestion is that we do something that rather quickly, especially over there on across from Riverview Terrace, because that is where many of our seniors reside, and I've been criticizing the state's efforts in trying to remedy that, provide that more of a safe passage. So
You think the blinking lights at the crosswalks across Broad to Linden and Wallace and
if the state,
Canning, that would look, do you think that would be too much?
Well,
I don't know.
there are two options. I think what Michael's referring to is that in some of our municipalities, those are regular blinking lights that go on there in heavily traffic areas. One of the things that I've seen, again, not to mention it, but in London, every single crosswalk in central London and in the outskirts has a activated pedestrian crossing point.
Push button.
You push button, and it's not a small little button, it's a big button, and it actually tells you wait or go, and it tells you to look right or to look left. And again, they are all activated by solar energy. And it's the technology, from what I understand, is so inexpensive. And you don't have to put, I know Jim Markey is here, but you don't have to put electric wires underneath the ground or anything else. It's activated by solar energy. And it's in this little box that it's on every street corner, and people use it. Yeah, that's what I'm
So you
saying.
notice those things.
Our technology is so antiquated. Okay, but we'll look into it. Did somebody else have something else or not? Okay. If not, communications and petitions, request from River Center for free parking on July 25th and 26th. Motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request from Red Bank Volunteer Fire Department to close Broad Street from Peters Place to Front Street and Mullen Street on September 7th to hold the annual street fair. Motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Request from Red Bank Volunteer Fire Department to hang a banner on Shrewsbury Avenue from August 15th to September 2nd. Motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any members of the public have any items on the agenda? Comments? Seeing none, motion to close.
So moved. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance's first reading, just for introduction, is an ordinance fixing the compensation of officers' positions and employees in the Borough of Red Bank, and ordinance 2014-13. What this ordinance does is it establishes a range, a permissible range of salaries. It does not create an actual dollar amount for any particular position. That will have to be adopted by mayor and council in a separate resolution and salary ordinance for that, or rather resolution for those particular positions. This sets a range so that we don't have to change it every time that there is a deviation in that range.
Do other towns do this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is
As
done.
a matter of fact, most towns do it. As a matter of fact, we were talking about doing this 10 years ago. We never did it. So we're doing it now.
I'll make that motion to introduce, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public hearing, Pam, will be when?
July 9th?
July 9th at 6:30 PM. There are no other ordinances for final adoption. Resolutions by consent, Resolution 14-164 through Resolution 14-173. Motion?
Mayor, I just have to abstain from 14-170.
Okay.
Then Mayor, I have to abstain from 14-164.
Okay. With those abstentions, motion on all the rest of them? Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Obviously subject to the 2 abstentions. Any opposed?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Resolution 14171, the Clean Communities.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to figure out what is the special item of revenue?
It's the incoming money.
It's
It's accepting that $18,000.
Okay, and
It's coming in.
can you tell me what we use it for? What does it go towards?
Solid waste and recycling.
Solid waste and recycling. What do you mean?
Recycling.
Like buying things or salaries?
To offset the expenses, correct, Eugene?
Right.
Rents have their requirements, and they can use for salaries, case of individual affair they may have, and, you know, for the people that are paying for that particular affair, and also for some guidance that they can buy garbage cans, recycling.
Public trash containers, pick up of those containers on the weekends, that sort of thing.
We can't buy garbage cans. Can we buy cigarette butt buckets? That?
No, we can't.
Just curious. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? It's already been acted upon, so we don't have to do any further action. Resolution 14174, a resolution appointing the tax and utility collector, Ashley Shadismani, effective August 1, 2014. Motion?
Moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are no proclamations, payment of vouchers. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council, the bill be paid on the attached check registry totaling $1,733,342.21. Motion?
Moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any old business?
I have to bring up something again, and I don't mean to be, I don't mean to be a nag here, and I don't want to seem like any kind of a turf battle, but again, I'm going to bring up the living shoreline, and I just feel that, Kathy has said that she's in favor of it, that it would just be a smart and a prudent thing to just start the motion going now, just to see what the cost and the design will be.
My understanding is that Councilwoman Horgan is beginning the process of contacting constituent units that might be interested in it, and we'll await her report. Is that correct, Kathleen?
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure it gets going.
Are we voted on that, Mayor? Just to clear the air here, we voted that it's going to be living shorelines? We haven't done
No,
that.
we haven't voted on the living shoreline.
Yeah, the money for the bulkhead.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so simple.
The only thing that Kathy is doing is she's looking into it and reporting back to us. She's not committing anything for the council because we haven't
No,
voted on
and
it.
it's no commitment. All you have to do is write a letter to the River Society saying,
Whatever it is. Okay.
No cost to the borough.
right, no cost, no commitment, no nothing. It's just information. We would be getting information on cost and design.
Any other new business or old business? Audience, Mr. Markey, you have anything? Did I wake you up?
No.
James Markey from JCP First
I
Energy.
just wanted to let you know that Juanita pointed out the movies in the park, and Jersey Central Power Light's actually sponsoring the movies in the park for midnight this year. I wanted to share that.
Do you have like a little video clip of it, with your picture on it?
I'm trying to figure out which ones to bring my daughter to.
How about all of them?
Any questions for me, anybody has?
James, thank you so much, and thank the president.
Thank you very much. I have a question for old business.
Go
I'd
ahead.
like to know what the status report is on 106. I know back in May 12th, I spoke to...
My understanding is that the purchase order has to be signed, and then we're all set. It's coming down. We finally got the asbestos quote on it, and it's coming down.
And did we have asbestos in there?
Yes, that was the holdup.
And
Yeah.
that was contained? Did we contain it already?
Whatever they did, it's taken care of. Yeah.
It's construction material which requires the contractor to take other steps to remove it separately and dispose of it separately. So that was added to the specs, it was rebid, we got the bids back, we're doing the first order.
Another question I have?
Go ahead.
One question. This new project that we're doing out in the front of the Borough Hall?
We're not doing it.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to just make sure. $42,000, we're not paying for it.
We are not paying for it. It's through the generosity of River Center as well as the Count Basie Theater.
Okay.
That's just a wonderful project. That's a win-win for Red
Well, it's
Bank.
absolutely, as a
agree.
matter of fact, one of the things I suggested, and I know that Mr. Colmorgan is not here this evening, but one of the things we were considering at some point was to actually name that and dedicate that square or that plaza for Ambassador Catherine Elvis White.
Yes.
But that would be subject to the council, and it's been delayed for all this time because, you know, they were getting the final plans together. It looks great, by the way, thank you.
Hope
And
to
I
be done
thank
by the
Adam
end of the week.
Phillipson. And so it might be an appropriate designation for the first woman mayor of Red Bank and first woman commissioner of New Jersey Highway Department.
I have one more piece of old
I
business.
thought you said you had one more, one more
I
ago.
just have one more.
Okay.
Okay, this unused sick and vacation days, I've been looking into this and I've
I don't
always,
have any sick on unused vacation.
I'm just saying,
Oh.
our policy for sick and unused
Yes.
vacation days. And I'm always told that we follow the state and we follow the county. And the count, I've got, and it's.
I don't know what the county does, and I would not want to follow the county
The
because,
county caps it at 15,000.
well, can I tell you something? We capped it at 15,000 before the county ever
Okay,
woke
this is
up.
my question. Where does it say that? Because when I look at the personnel policies,
It's not, it's in the ordinances.
It's in ordinance.
okay, maybe
Yeah.
somebody could find that
Yeah,
for me.
maybe
because-
Mr. O'Hearn can
There's
give you
only
a copy of that
two
ordinance.
employees right now.
I understand that,
We're
but
not.
I'm just saying, you know, maybe this is just an oversight in bookkeeping, but it talks about 260 days is what Red Bank caps it.
No, I think if you look at the ordinance, it specifically states the amount of
50
sick time. So maybe Mr. O'Hearn can give you a copy of that
I
ordinance.
just recently got this, and it's.
Yeah, but it's not the personnel policy.
Great,
You gotta look at
that's
the
what I'm
ordinance.
saying, I
That's
just looked
fine.
into it, I had a
It
question.
was capped in 1994.
I think it's
Okay,
fine.
but I just
$15,000.
want to see the
Correct
documentation,
that.
because we're still putting out these personnel policies that say 260 days, and that's massive.
It was done by ordinance and was adopted a long time ago. We adopted it, it was 1994, we adopted it 10 years before the county. So that's why I said, I don't know if the county does, but we did it before they did.
Okay, well.
Yeah, Mr. O'Hearn can give you a copy of that ordinance.
Would
Yeah.
you write me that ordinance?
will.
Thank you.
But no, we're okay with that, so.
And Mayor, just for purpose, I'll close the public portion of this meeting.
Thank you.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Second? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So
Oh,
moved.
actually, I'm sorry, I retract that. Motion to retire to executive session to discuss the purposes of litigation and contract negotiations with a contractual entity of the Borough of Red Bank.
I'll move that motion.
Second. No official action will be taken this evening, so the rest can go home and go to sleep. Second.
Everybody rushed here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.